Alright guys, welcome to... Now, I'm going to have to double check something because there's probably going to be repeat stuff. So just bear with me 1 second because I'm trying something new. I've got something a little bit different going on. So I'm just going to mute the microphone, turn my camera off. Just need to check something very... Sorry about that, folks. Just needed to check something that wasn't repeating or in sort of like a loop because I've got... You can't see it now because it's only showing me. But I've got my MacBook set up because I'm going to be doing some screen sharing. Because I just want to try and make this look a little bit more sort of like professional, to be honest, and with other projects that I've got lined up. I just want to try and play about with stuff. I will have to get around to actually paying for StreamYard so we get a few more features. But I think we should have too many issues or real reason to get into that. So something a little bit different, and going over to Cloudwater. Now, it would have helped if I had an actual can of the sort of normal version of this, but I don't. And it's just a bit of a sort of like bit of an experiment for me, really. So Cloudwater, with a few of their beers, have got a recipe evolution series going. And they're doing that with their pale, which is their signature pale, which they've got 4 different versions of, and now they've got the double dry hop ale, which they've got 2 versions of. So they took 2 4-packs of this, one from Cloudwater themselves. In fact, just made a Cloudwater today, and it's prime time. Rush hour is the best time to connect. Not now, OK Cupid. But yeah, so I've got Cloudwater stuff. Made a nice order with them. Got a 4-pack of the... Was it 4-pack or 3-pack? I can't remember. 4-pack of each of the double dry DDH Pale 1 and the DDH Pale 2, and then a few other bits and bobs. And I discovered the wonders that is steeped soda, because I picked up that grapefruit iced tea that they did, Cloudwater Soda did with steep soda, to the point where I ended up buying myself 10 bottles today, as well as a few bits and bobs. We've got Neil Parkin, who says, "Evening, Peter." Evening, Neil. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, it's a nice sort of casual, easy-going Sunday evening. I don't think there's been a Sunday session today. Not that we need to have drinking sessions. Bit of a heavy one last night, but hey ho, you know, you can finally have people over, so what's the problem? So now the DDH pale it's a good pale in its own right. The sort of signature pale is good as well. They've got a very solid core range. So I was intrigued by this to see how this will go. But the interesting thing is, there's really no information as to what is different. It's just got the same sort of description of what the series is. So, if you just bear with me 1 sec, let's see. Let's go to layout. What are we looking for? That. There we go. So, I have to be careful because there's sometimes really big pop-ups that come up contact. So this is DDH Pale Recipe Evolution 1, 5% ABV. This is the untapped. So our signature recipes undergo continuous evolution as we develop new processes and respond to changing tastes, ensuring what you expect in your glass is never anything less than fresh and exciting. I'm not sure how well this is coming across on camera, if that's actually big enough for you guys to read. This is the 4 one-off variants of our DDH Pale, showcasing new techniques or recipes, and your feedback will help to decide upon the next step. Head to cloudwater.co/next step to have your say, which, as you can see there, we shall be doing. And I'll read that as well. So that's the first one. So that's number 1, which is 5%. So let's see. Number 2. Same again. VMware, V, AHV. Number 1, backup and recovery. There you go, guys. So our signature recipes undergo continuous evolution as we develop new processes and respond to changing tastes, ensuring what you experience in your glass is never anything less than fresh and exciting. But now we want to bring you into the development process. This is our second of the 4 variants of DDH Pale, showcasing new techniques or recipes, and your feedback will help us decide upon the next step. So yeah, it doesn't really sort of like say what they've done slightly differently. I don't know why they've not done that. But this is from the Cloudwater website. Your feedback will help us to fine-tune our approach to these foundation styles and create beers that never fail to meet or exceed your expectations. As you try different recipes of our signature, please provide your valuable input by sharing your thoughts on each one via the links below. So we will be doing that. There's DDH Pale 1, DDH Pale 2. Since our inception, we've moved over 100 recipes spanning many styles. Over that time, we've honed our processes and use of ingredients, integrated new equipment, watch culture game, and changed some of the recipes beyond recognition. Check out our journey through style families below. Click to enlarge. So there's some interesting stuff, to be honest. I'm not sure how delayed that is. I hope you can see this fine. I hope it's coming through. And I hope you can hear me okay. But yeah, so might as well click on this one. Or should I have opened another new tab? So I'll go through this as we go, as it goes. And got a quick comment from Davor. Good evening, Peter. Good evening. I'm taking away Black Rituals from Amiga and Voodoo Brewing Collab. It's double mashed imperial stout, a perfect sipper for closing the weekend. That does sound good, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. Actually, more than good. So let's get these opened. Oh, there we are. That's number 1 and number 2. So I think we can go back to me, which is something you all want to see, obviously. So layout, there we are. All right then. So doing a bit of head-to-head, we'll see what I think of them both. Going to use 2 different glasses for this. Got some more Cloudwater glassware coming. Not that I need any more glassware at all. I've also got a couple of Northern Monk things because I've done the Seabrooks crisps collaborations, which I'm looking forward to actually. A cheese and onion lager and a prawn cocktail goza. Sounds good to me. Sounds interesting. I've enjoyed the sort of like I don't think I had the Aunt Bessie's stuff, but I've had the Henderson's Relish, which was lovely. yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It started off as an April Fool's, but anyway, you'll see that when we do the unboxing. So let's get these open then. Now, I have already drank the other 3 cans of each, but I've not. I just drank them because, you know, we were entertaining. Well, I was just tagging along with my younger brother and his mates in the garden. I got so old and got very pissed. All right then. So must remember that St. Mars is number 2 and Unbarred is number 1. So let's have a look at both. They are pretty much identical. Can't really see it too well there. Yeah, it was just the lighting because I was saying, oh, this looks a bit darker, but it's just because of the light source. Pretty much identical. Even the same amount of haziness, same amount of head, nice head retention, nice soft, creamy, almost soapy looking head. Yeah, pineapple, mango, that sort of thing. A little bit of a lemon as well. Looking very nice indeed. I'll have a sniff of each one. I'd say number 2, Recipe Evolution number 2 is maybe a little bit softer. Maybe a little bit sweeter. This has got a bit of like a fermented dank edge, like a pungency almost. Like gooseberry and passion fruit, whereas this, you do slightly get that. There is a little bit of dankness. There's that a little bit of like tart aroma as well to it. But I would say Recipe Evolution 1 is maybe just a tiny bit more potent, but you're getting the same sort of aromas, to be honest. Like bruised fruits, a little bit of savoury, pineapple, melon, loads of grapefruit, both of them. Just smelling really damn nice overall, but I would say number 1 just has maybe a little bit of potency to it. We've got James, Mr. Rovwell, saying hi, Peter. Hi, James. I'm not sure if you've tried, or anyone else watching this has tried these Evolution beers. I like the idea of it, but they're just not sort of, they're asking you to give feedback, but they're not saying what they've done differently for each one. So it'd be nice to know, actually, because, you know, it's almost like they're just, we'll tweak it very slightly and we'll sell it as a new series. I've got a feeling there may be some people who will see this and be like, it's just going to be the same beer, just with like a number on it. But for those, definitely there are differences. So I think we'll just quickly go to the page again, and we'll go through each category. So, probably would have been better if I was using this book as the main thing, but oh well. There we are. We'll just go full screen. You don't need to see me. Beautiful layout on the website there. I hope you can still hear me. James says, we'll put that comment up very quickly. Found it difficult to judge. Like them both, too similar for me, to be fair. Yeah, it's not really going to be a spoiler alert, but that's what I sort of thought when I was just drinking them, really. And I said it would have been ideal if I'd have got hold of it, just like the actual regular double dry hopped pale. Because I think at one point they did actually do a full mix pack where you got one of each, but think that was just the signature pale. But yeah, when I was drinking them the other night, mind you, it was quite late. I didn't really. I don't know, but reviewing head on, so be a little bit more hands on with it. But we'll see. But interesting feedback there, James. So, please rate the beer's appearance out of 5. I would say it's got a nice bit of murk to it. It's not really bright or anything like that. So, I would say, there's not much, and that can be said for both of them. Though, don't ask me what needs to be done to give it a 5. By the way. So let's go to the aroma out of 5. I would say there are differences, and we'll change the number. I think for number 2, I'm going to give that a 3. Number 1, we're going to give that 4. So, and then we've got please rate the mouthfeel and the flavour. So quickly go back to me because I'm a narcissist. I like doing this on the fly, especially when I'm going to be doing my film podcast, which, by the way, got my my wall of smut up there. It looked more impressive as a backdrop when you actually see it, as opposed to seeing it on camera. Would have helped if I'd have actually put some stuff there, but hey ho, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so let's have a taste of these first. So we're just going on that feel now. It's a very high-pitched sound I made then. Interesting. Let's try number 2. Both sort of have the same amount of body to them. Both of them, I would say, are a little bit, I'm not going to say thin, because, you don't really expect a pale ale at 5% to be gloopy or anything like that. In fact, how many times have actual beers been actually gloopy? Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like a lot of times it's an unattainable sort of thing, but yeah, both seem to be a little bit watered down almost. Again, not much difference between the two. Just going off mouthfeel, and then we'll go back onto the screen. I would say number 2 is just a little bit softer, and it's got a slightly more satisfying creaminess to it without it being creamy. And number 1 on the back end, it's a little bit unsatisfying. I just get quite watery at the end. Yeah, I'll definitely say that. So back to the screen. I don't know why I said it like that. Here we go. So what are we on now? We're on number 1. So I'm gonna say, please rate the mouthfeel out of 5. I'm gonna go for a 3. See, it sounds like I'm being really harsh on this, and for number 1, we're going to go to 2. I had a little bit more of a bolder character when I was just drinking them. It's weird, isn't it, how if you're not like purposely picking apart a beer, you're just drinking a beer, you get a completely different sort of thing. And I'm going into this as open-minded as I possibly can. So that's that. And feel free to leave any sort of feedback as we're doing this. Just because if this is it's never going to be sort of a regular thing, is it? We won't be going out of the way to buy different variations of the beer. I just thought I'd give it a try and just use this as an excuse to have a little bit of a setup and to fiddle about with StreamYard a little bit. So if you think this is a bit clunky, then let me know. Would you like to see more streams where I might look at stuff like Untapped and do it like this? Because it's better for me to host on a phone because the camera quality is much better than the MacBook. Whereas sometimes doing it on your phone, you don't have as many sort of like options for creativity as you do on a desktop or a laptop or a MacBook. So, but the mobile it's constantly sort of like evolving, and I'm sure when I do eventually get round to paying for StreamYard, a nice live logo there, we can have a background, we could just make it look a little bit more professional. And I can start getting stuff like microphones. God, the more I'm drinking that, it's quite disappointing actually. I'm not going to lie. James says, do you remember the red lorry and yellow lorry Cloudwater comparison? I missed out on those, but I remember when they released it. I can't remember what styles they were, but I do remember that. And you know what? Fair play to Cloudwater for trying to constantly sort of evolve pre-existing recipes. I know one of the labour of loves for Paul and the rest of Cloudwater is the Helles beer, which I think is just absolutely phenomenal as a lager. It's got that authenticity you want. It's crisp. It's refreshing. It's up there with some of the best German Helles beers in my opinion. Yeah, I don't remember too much about the actual that release specifically, but I do remember when they did release it. So let's go now on to the flavour. So we'll try number one again. There's a little bit of a bitterness there. A sharp citrus edge is coming out. There's maybe a little bit of pineapple or the juice that tinned pineapple comes in. It's very subtle sweetness. It's a little bit herbal, a little bit dank. Has a slight resininess to it. I'm just pouring this in. Let's see if it's changed now that all the beer's in the glass. I mean, it's pretty nice, don't get me wrong, but it's strange. I just can't get it out of my head how different these tasting now. I mean, I was only yesterday when I was drinking, because I was drinking them straight from the can as well, and do find a lot of IPAs do taste better in the can. A lot of beers taste better from the can and the bottle, I've found. But yeah, bitterness it's got quite an aftertaste. Does Evolution number one. Flavour wise for number two, not a million miles away from what you're getting in number one. It just seems to be there's an abrasiveness with variation number one that isn't coming through as much on variation number two. you're getting those sort of like same baseline flavours and characteristics from beer to beer. But number 2 is almost a little bit softer, a little bit reined in, a little bit more gentle and smooth. And I think overall, the more satisfying out of the 2. Now, as I said, I had the original DDH pale, and off the top of my head, and it sort of makes this whole video pointless, really, doesn't it? But it was born on Saturday evening. I probably should have tried to get a camera. It's going to bug me that I didn't get a camera. I could compare them, and now I think they've got variation number 3 and 4 coming out now. I think, I can't remember, or was that just variation 3 and 4 of the signature pale? Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But yeah, there's sort of like a subtle difference. Although, if you were to just be given these cans sort of blind, you'd probably just think at most, oh, that can might be from a different sort of batch. That one might be a little bit fresher. But you wouldn't necessarily think that they were developments of a single recipe. And I could imagine, just like we were saying at the start, people trying it and thinking, a Cloudwater trying to pull a fast one over on us by saying, oh, look at this new exciting beer. And it's like, it's just tastes the same as the one. I think that is a little bit of an issue, though, you can have with IPAs specifically. Because, you know, you'll see 2 or 3 IPAs released by a brewery within like a month or within a few months or so. And it's got the exact sort of like same hop build, but obviously just the hops are rearranged, so there's a little bit more of this hop compared to like these other 2 in that beer, whereas in that beer, same 3 hop varieties, but there's a little bit more emphasis. We'll put a bit more of this hop in there compared to the other 2. So, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, and fair play to Cloudwater that they want people to get involved. I do like that sort of stuff. Very much so. I've got another comment from James, who says, one of the recipes is a bit more expensive. Weird. I didn't pick up on that. I'm terrible, because as soon as I've reached that £40 free delivery threshold on Cloudwater, it's like, I don't actually know how much I paid for each individual beer that I've bought. But, yeah, I didn't realise that. It's just, I'm far from saying that Cloudwater are trying to hide something with this, because I think it's a really good idea. It's just maybe a little bit more transparency. What's different from the original, and then version 1, version 2, and then whatever versions they're going to do afterwards. It'd just be nice to not only see that the development recipe, but sort of like track that beer's journey and just say, oh, for this one, we sort of like used maybe a different yeast, or we treated the water slightly different, or we used, instead of using like a leaf hop, we used a pellet or like a cryo version or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Or we sort of like swapped out completely. Or, you know, we had like because I don't know what hops they had really in the original. Do you know what? I'm actually going to quickly look that up, just in case the original. Here it is. Just in case the original DDH pale, it actually tells you what hops are used in it, because I'm not too sure. Here we go. And we'll go back to the screen, because I think I've got enough information here. Alright, so we'll have a look now at the first, or the actual standard version. move James's comment for a sec. So, our double dry hop pale ale is brewed to soup up your downtime by delivering the hop flavour intensity of a double IPA at a moderate ABV. Have they done that? I don't know. I'm definitely not getting that sort of vibe with these examples. Pale ale's dry hopping rate of 8 grams per litre develops a bold, juicy, hazy, heavily hopped beer. Out of our hoppy beer range, this sets the marker for balance between drinkability and flavour impact. And flavour: juicy tangerine and zesty grapefruit, soft white peach, and resinous hop notes. Definitely getting that sort of like resinous edge. And you do get that slight sort of like grapefruit bitterness, I suppose. Let's take another quick sip of each one. Medium body, velvety with soft carbonation. I don't know. I wouldn't say neither of these two variants are medium. Well, they are sort of like, but they are on a lower end of medium, if that makes sense. And then aftertaste is lingering juicy orange and peach with light peppery bitterness. The pepperiness, definitely. But yeah, but again, I'm looking at two different variants of that beer that's on the screen, so there may be considerable noticeable differences. So, DDH Pale Recipe Evolution 1. Please rate the flavour out of 5. I'm going to go 2. It's alright. It's inoffensive, but I'm not that big of a fan of it, really. Hang on. Have I messed this up? This is Evolution 2. Yeah, because I think I've got those mixed round. Sorry. So, there we are. And then rate the flavour. Yeah, that's it, really. The aroma, I can't even remember that. I'm having to quickly go through these again. On one, it's breathing in the glass, and number 1 is just got a wonderful aroma. So yeah, number 1 definitely got the better aroma, I would say. Appearance are both the same. Aroma, mouthfeel, we'll have just another quick taste. Yeah, it's really quite watery. The more I think about it, and the flavour is 2. So, how do you feel this beer compares to our signature DDH Pale? From what I remember, the signature DDH Pale is really nice and flavoursome, but it seems like this has sort of lost a bit of that. So I'm going to say worse than the signature DDH Pale. Although I don't agree with that sort of language. Because it's still a good, pale ale. And I keep looking at the camera. It's still got a screen there. So I'm going to say it's just not as good. I wouldn't say worse. Worse is a bit of a harsh sort of word to say, really. But on number 2, I would actually say I'm going to go back again. But again, I don't mean that as like an overly negative thing, to be honest. Do you have any other thoughts on the beer you'd like to share? What I will say is it would be nice to know what you changed. changed from variation to variation? I know that's not a question that is asked at all. Oh, excuse me. Because I want to say something about this, do that. So that's number 2. That's number 1. Have I done it again? Fucking hell, I'm an idiot. Number 2. Number 1. Yeah, there we go. So we can submit those. Your response is being recorded. Submit that as well. So that's on Google Forms. So yeah, that's about it really. As I said, this was more of just an excuse to have a bit of a tinker with StreamYard than anything else. If we'd done this properly, I would have picked up a kind of the signature one, but I just thought since he had one of each left, it's like I was going to shoot a video, but that would take absolutely loads of memory on my phone because I hardly do straight to the point quick videos, do I? So, yeah, interesting. There are definitely differences, but I would say they've not really, from my memory, and you've got to put that into consideration. I don't think it's improved the style or the signature beer at all. To say it's a big step back, no, because the quality is still there. You definitely would enjoy them, but just like James said earlier on, there's not much really to differentiate the two. But I definitely think out of the two, number 2 is the slightly better variant. So yeah, that's it really. Let's see, we've got another comment from James. And I'm waiting for it to actually show up on the StreamYard chat so I can check it. There we go. Changing up the experience is quite good. Fair play to Cloudwater for trying something new. Yeah, definitely. I'm all for Cloudwater doing this because, you know, it's not just about like the reviews you get on Untapped and that sort of thing, but to actually have people drinking your beer and then being given an opportunity to provide feedback in a sort of a structured way and for you to sort of develop and change a beer. I'm all for it, and I think a lot of breweries would definitely benefit from doing something like this, just to gauge things a little bit. But yeah, it's been a fun little experiment. So I hope you guys who have watched live, and so those who may watch this once it's been uploaded as a playback, be interested to see what you guys think if you've tried it, if you tried these as well as the original, and if you know of any other similar sort of situations. My nose is getting bunged up for no reason whatsoever. It's like I've been underwater and I've got chlorine up my nose. So that's why I sound a little bit nasally today. Sound like I was taking the piss out of a deaf person then, which I was. Oh, what a fucking way to end the video, Peter. Good stuff. God, that is really quite pungent. Let's see. Typical Cloudwater. Are you going on Jimmy O later? I don't think so because back in work tomorrow. So And to be honest, I don't think I'm going to really finish these 2 beers either. I just wanted to get them open to do this video, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Might try and get an early night tonight, which I don't think will happen. But God loves a try, I suppose. But I do need to pop on at some point, especially because Stu's been going on. Ginge Real Ale Trail. That doesn't sound right, what I've just said. But yeah, so there's going to be some unboxings this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to do another sort of until the bitter end stream because I enjoy doing that. The first episode of my film-related podcast will be tomorrow as well. Going to do it as a live stream. Pretty more like just a casual talk about what I want to try and achieve with it. Talk a little bit about my sort of history with film, and a little bit of a Q&A, just to make a little bit of an event of it. So that event should have already been put out there on YouTube. So feel free to join me tomorrow night. We'll talk about film and I'll answer some questions, not just about film, because the podcast is going to be called Libidomania, named after Bruno Mattei's Libidomania, which is a wonderful Mondo-style documentary. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. That's why, as I said, I've been doing this with having my laptop here. Hopefully the fan on my MacBook hasn't been too loud, because it's literally on its legs. It's been going since fucking hell 2011. So this MacBook is 10 years old. It's still alive and kicking. So you can't do jack shit on it. God, it would take me a whole day just to be able to edit like a short vlog. So I might have to get myself a new laptop or a MacBook, but hey, you don't need to worry about that. Probably not interested in that. George says, hey, hope you're having a good Sunday. Cheers to you, buddy, and to the chat. I'm drinking Jaipur. Cheers to you too, my friend. Hope you had a lovely weekend, and I hope you're enjoying your Jaipur. Not gonna lie, not one of my favourite beers. But there are different variants of it. I'd like to try the Imperial version or the stronger ABV one. Is that Jaipur? But yeah, as long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. And thank you for stopping by. And I do appreciate that comment. What a nice point to end the stream on. Anyway, so I hope you found this somewhat interesting. If you like these sort of like comparison videos, I'll be definitely doing stuff like this whenever I get the opportunity to do so. I like the idea of doing sort of like mixology sort of videos as well, just to diversify the content more than anything else. So it's not just a 20-minute beer review, 20-minute beer review, 20-minute beer review, 20-minute beer review. And Geordie says, thank you. You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of the evening, sir. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. It is definitely interesting that Cloudwater are doing this. And it'd be interesting to see what other styles they will have this part of it. If they do this with the Hellers, even though I think their Hellers beer, you'll always see them post on Instagram, this batch of Hellers is the best we've ever done. But it'd be interesting to see them do the Hellers with this sort of process, because I'd be all over that with every different version, because Cloudwater's lagers are just absolutely chef's kiss. Anyway, it sounds like I'm coming down with a cold. Don't know where from, but it's what it is. Hope you all enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. Take care out there, buddy. On you too, Geordie. Definitely. Thank you, sir. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me, keeping me company for a little bit. a lazy, boring Sunday afternoon or evening, I should say. And yeah, go check out Cloudwater. I've been buying a lot from Cloudwater recently, apparently. And I can't wait. As of, well, tomorrow, I could technically go to Cloudwater. We don't have an outdoor space at the tap room, do we? Surely they'll get an outdoor space. Well, in a few weeks when the rest of the hospitality industry is able to open up, get a table booked, and have a nice day out in Manchester. Thumbs up to you too, James. Hope you had a good weekend, buddy. And yeah, cheers all for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And those who are watching this after the live stream, thank you for sitting through this as well. And yeah, go check out Cloudwater. Amazing brewery. And I'm all for stuff like this. So yeah, my phone's vibrating, which is very annoying. See you guys later. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys. I just flicked my index finger.